that going.
We did.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor 20 Heroes versus Villains.
Yes, we got a double eviction. It's not an
eviction. Yeah, double elimination. I didn't know that this was coming. So I was like surprised when we were at Tribal Council 15 minutes into the episode. I was like, okay, I guess this is a double elimination episode.
Oh, well, I heard Jeff say it at the top, but then I was like, oh my God, is this a 2-hour episode? Because I don't have 2 hours. I started to panic. But they squeezed it all into 1 hour. So
they did, yes. Yeah. We get back from camp, and Russell and Colby are furious at Candace for flipping. You know, she has just gotten Amanda out, and Jerry's like, oh, that was so nice of Candace to join our side, but like now we can totally cut her. We don't need her anymore.
We don't need her. No, we just needed that one vote. We don't need Joe.
Yeah.
Rupert and Colby are also upset with Candace.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They just can't believe that the Heroes tribe is like basically over now. It's just not looking good. But Rupert is not giving up. I think it's the next morning, they're like sitting around the camp, and Rupert's like giving Russell the hard stare, you know, and he's like, well, if you're going to swear on your kids that you're being honest, if that's how you're going to win this game, then okay. And like everybody's there. He's just trying to like sow suspicion, you know, against Russell. I think it's like a decent move, you know, just like try to blow up his game if you're headed out.
And it kind of works because Russell does get flustered. Like he does get worked up. He can't just sit back and be like, I know it's a game. Like he goes right back at Rupert, and you know, but like Rupert was like, you're a disgusting human. And I was like, whoa.
Right. And Russell's like, well, you're a dumbass. Pack your tie-dye because you're the next one to go. Like,
but did you notice Sandra in the background was like laughing? She was chuckling at one point. She was like, hee.
Of course. Because Sandra just like any draw, as long as it's not involving her, Sandra loves any and all drama.
Yes. Okay, then immediately we go to immunity.
Already we're going to immunity. So this is the challenge that we love, or you're holding your hand up. This is, you know, they make tweaks to this challenge over the years, and this is one where they're allowed to hold their arm up. I think in Winners at War, I think they were not allowed to like support their arm with their free arm, but this one they are. So they're all standing holding their arm up.
But they're on a little foot perch for the first time. Because they do mention, Jeff mentions that Parvati won this previously, but she didn't have the foot perch at that time. So
it's a little trickier, right?
Yeah.
So, but he says, you know, we do have temptations for you throughout, and there will be a twist announced at the end of this immunity challenge. So everybody gets set.
Okay, well, they barely get set before he just brings out a domed plate. That's it. We don't know what's under it.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to Sandra and Russell.
No. Now, Sandra, I'm not surprised. Of course, she's going to drop immediately for whatever that is brought out. But I was kind of shocked about Russell.
I know. That was like
how super safe do you feel?
Gonna try? Yeah. But they both drop. Don't even know.
They get cookies and milk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And Sandra's very pleased with herself. She's like, y'all don't know what you're missing. Like, this is Sandra's game. You know, Sandra's never going to win an immunity. She's not interested in really trying. She's just thrilled to like be sitting on the sidelines with cookies and milk. Now, the next temptation is donuts and iced coffee. And I loved the twist of like, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to accept this. Otherwise, it's going to Sandra and Russell. And Sandra and Russell are like dancing on the sidelines, like, we're about to get some donuts.
Honestly, I would just get down just so they don't have more food. I'd be like, oh, no, don't give them more.
Well, you've got a lot in common with Colby then, because for some reason, Colby is the one. I literally wrote ugh in my notes because I'm like, Colby is just not playing the game. He's not participating.
Where is he? He's not here. So he might as well get down for donuts and iced coffee. I was drinking iced coffee at this time when I was watching this episode, and I was like,
you're like, you know what? It's worth it.
Although I don't like to drink coffee on an empty stomach. So if that were a temptation on Survivor, I'd have a hard time, even though I'd be like, oh my God, I love it. I want it. I would be a jacked up crazy person, and I would probably ruin my game.
Yeah. Well, then Jeff brings out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, chips, candy, milk, and this is too much to bear.
This is the one you wait for. This is real food. This is protein. This is going to sustain you more than like 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah. It's not just a sugar high with like the cookies and milk and whatnot. And Candace looks over and she's like, okay, I'm dropping, but like someone's going to stay in, right? Like somebody has to beat Rupert, but I'm on my way out of here. So like, who's it going to be?
Yeah, so like everyone jumps down basically, but I love that like Parvati has to carry the weight of the villains to protect from Rupert.
I know.
Why does that have to be Parvati's job?
Because it is Candace, Danielle, and Jerry who all stepped down. And we didn't really see if there was like any discussion or confirmation with Parvati.
No.
Like, is anybody checking Parvati's vibe? Like, are you good to stay on? They all just like jump off. And so Parvati's like, okay, don't worry, I got this. Thanks.
She's like, oh, all right, I'll starve. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think Candace next Danielle, and Danielle's like, yeah, it's all good. Parvati's got it. Don't worry about it. And I was like, Parvati, what?
Did anybody ask Parvati? Okay.
She'd like to eat too.
Yeah, but she does not get to. She stays in to battle Rupert, and then Rupert eventually does stumble and fall. He loses his balance. And
it was after an hour and 20 minutes. So, I mean, not too shabby. And he's got that broken toe. Like, how do you stand on that perch?
I know.
So not surprised that he eventually falls. Parvati wins. And she's like, what?
Me? Oh my God, I'm Parvati. And then Jeff is like, remember that twist? Here it is. He unveils clue to a hidden immunity idol. There's a burning bush and it casts a shadow where two paths blah, blah, blah.
Fork in the road or something. Yeah.
Right.
It was
Robert Frost poem, you know?
Yeah. I was like, if we could have had time to be like, you take the first line, I'll take the second line. You take if you had known, because by like the fourth line, I was like, wait, what were all the marks?
How did this start again? I don't recall.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, so now they're like all off for this idol.
This idol, yes. They're once we get back to camp, like everybody is running and they're all looking. I will say, like, it felt like maybe they were a bit distracted when they were looking for the clue because, like, no one's focused on like where two paths meet. They're all more focused on like the burning bush, like look for the red bush. Like, well, I think it was Sandra who's like, where's the bush that's on fire? And Candace is like, there's no actual burning bush, Sandra. It's probably a red bush. But they're like they're just looking at like any red bush they can find, not where there's like an intersection of two paths.
Right. So while they're looking over there though, Sandra's like, well, these leaves are red. Is this it? Yes. It wasn't. Good job, Sandra.
Good job. Sandra found it. And she's like, she starts to pull out the clue and she's like, I can't read this here. Like somebody's going to find me. Literally everyone is looking for the clue.
Yeah.
And she decides to like stash it away. And of course, like as a longtime Survivor watcher, I'm like, no, like you're hiding it away and somebody else is going to find it.
Right. I mean, they're all out looking like anyone could stumble across it. It made me so nervous that she couldn't figure out a place to put it, but it was really bulky. So I get it.
Yeah. Right.
But
well, then we've got Rupert out there and he's obviously not finding the idol, but he's not going to admit that he hasn't found the idol. He's going to pretend that he did. He found a big old rock to put in the pocket of his cargo shorts.
Yes. But you know what, David? Russell knows what idols look like. So he spots that lump in Rupert's shorts and knows for a fact that Rupert has it.
No, that is, I've had an idol in my pocket and I know that is an idol. The confidence in this cast of characters is like, give me the confidence in everyday life that these people have. You know,
Russell. I mean, it's just too much confidence, though.
I know.
You don't need that much.
Right. So he kind of like starts to spread the word amongst, his villainous females that Rupert has the idol. And so then I think it's Parvati, Danielle, and Jerry are talking about like, okay, well, we wanted to go for Rupert, and Parvati says like, well, we'll just split the votes between Rupert and Colby then, and we'll and you know, we'll be all good. And Jerry's like, why? And I'm like, Jerry, and Parvati's like, so we can flush the idol and then we'll get Colby out. And Jerry's like, oh, okay, yeah.
At this point, Jerry is like just one step ahead of Colby. Like Colby's not at all in this game. And Jerry's just like one step into the game.
Right.
But we do have to remember idols are still fairly new. This whole
Okay. Yes.
I mean, if we're going to give them any credit
giving
here,
them benefits of the doubt.
Yes. They are still figuring out how the strategy works with an idol.
Definitely. But Jerry's like, well,
still miss the mark here.
Well, Jerry's like, I think we should get Candace out. Like, why? Let's split between Rupert and Candace because, like, we don't need Candace anymore. And like, what is Colby really doing anyway? And I think we get a confessional from Danielle, who's like, yeah, you know, Colby's not really doing much, and like, maybe I could use Colby. So we start to see like, okay, maybe they're going to go after Candace.
Yes. Now, I want to point out that the villains say they're going to split it 3-3, and that's where their problem is that. Yeah, you got to get your numbers right.
Yes.
Rob had it right, but he unfortunately didn't make it in this game. So now they're struggling with the numbers. Okay, so they're going to split it 3-3. We do see Colby and Rupert touch base. Yeah. And Colby's like, well, they're going to split it.
They're going to split it 3-3. So we just have to hope that 3 of theirs are going to go on Candace, potentially. Like, maybe they'll do that. So let's just put our votes on Candace. And then if they have 3 on Candace, then there's 5 on Candace, and she goes home and we're safe.
She goes. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, he's like, I'm hoping it's not me, but easy. If they're going to vote out Candace, we're happy to vote out Candace. So that's genius. This is where the villain's plan falls.
Right.
Because obviously Colby and Rupert would love to vote out Candace. They don't want to keep her. That's an easy vote.
They're not loyal to her anymore. And you're totally right. Like if the villains had split it 4 votes, Rupert, 2 votes, Candace, and then there are 2 more votes. But
then it's still tied, and that's what they thought. They thought they were doing a 3-3 tie, which does not make sense.
Yeah.
Why? I think they really thought they were just going to have 3 and 3 and 2, random 2, and that Rupert would play the idol, and it was just going to flush out, and so their 3 votes beats this 2 vote, I think is what they were planning. Yeah,
but they didn't think about the fact that maybe the heroes would sniff that out, Colby and Rupert. So we go to Tribal. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's 15 minutes into the episode. This is all happening very quickly. And at Tribal, Rupert's like, well, Candace flipped. She may as well be a villain. She belonged on the villains tribe from the beginning. And Candace is like, hey, like, it didn't matter, you know, if I voted for Amanda or not. The numbers were already there. So what's the big deal? And then Colby's like, no.
I don't buy your excuses. No.
Yeah. Just own up to the fact that you're playing a game for $1 million and you made a strategic move. And Russell's like, I think Candace made a great move, you know, and now like Rupert and Colby are the ones who are in trouble. Like Candace made her way over to the villain side, and it's not all going to be hunky dory with the villains all the time. So maybe Candace made the move at the right time. You know, she can help split up the villains. Like, I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, that is one perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Russell does openly say, I want Rupert out.
Yeah.
He stakes his claim.
Yep.
Rupert's going to go.
And then Jeff's like, but what did you guys do with the clue to the hidden immunity idol?
Yeah. Well, apparently Rupert just went into the woods until he felt safe or felt better.
Until he felt comfortable. Yeah. He said, I stayed in the forest until I felt comfortable, Jeff. Sort of hinting, you know, he's still playing that game that he might have that idol.
Yes, we're going to play these games. Okay, we see Colby votes for Candace, and he's proud of the way he played. Are you? And I think we say, oh, are you playing, Colby?
Oh, right. Are you proud of the fact that you just paid attention to Treasure Island and didn't pick up on the fact that there might be a clue to a hidden
Treasure
immunity
Island
idol?
And then you ate cookies and milk. You're doing a great job, Colby. Doing great.
Yeah, definitely an all-star. Mm-hmm.
Not trying to save yourself or keep your numbers. Nope.
Yeah. We see Candace vote for Rupert. So, we know that it's either Candace or Rupert now. Like, these are the only two options. And when the votes are read, well, Jeff asks for an idol and Rupert kind of shifts in his chair a little bit, but then, doesn't play it. And we get 3 votes for Rupert, 5 votes for Candace. And Candace is gone.
Well, great, Candace. Who cares about Candace? Bye-bye.
You got
burned. You tried something and you got burned, which is always fun to watch. But whoops, that's not exactly what all the villains were hoping for.
Not all of the villains. I think some of the villains are like, whatever. Okay, we are fine with Candace going.
Yeah, we split the votes, knowing one of them would go.
Russell is not now realizing what it all meant. He didn't do the math, so he's like shocked that Candace went. Even though he voted for Candace.
He voted for Candace and then has the audacity to be like, that's not the way it was supposed to go.
These girls are out of control voting Candace out. Oh,
Russell, you're trying real hard, but you're always falling just a smidge short. Like he doesn't really have a mind for it. He just wants to control and manipulate, which is part of the game, but he can't really think things through. That's why he wasted an idol last week. And this time he's just like, whoops, we didn't do that right.
Hello. Yeah. And he's not happy about the power balance now, because again, it's like another week of like, he's trying to make a certain move and he doesn't get his way. So he's like, butthurt about that.
Yes. Oh, Parvati, he says like he and Parvati are now equally in charge where he used to be in charge. And so that is just not comfortable to him. He doesn't like that.
That's not how it's supposed to be. So we go from there straight into the next immunity challenge. This one is like in stages where they have to dig a peg and then make the peg through a hand maze. And then 5 of them move on to this like wall climbing, very hard wall climbing challenge. And then 3 people move on from there to a hand puzzle. And I gotta say, I was shocked to see Sandra do so well in part 1.
She was too. She said, look, I didn't what? Who saw this coming? She's like, I'm shocked. That was so fun to see. I really liked this whole challenge. I liked the sort of eliminating people as we go.
Me too.
I liked that it wasn't just one, we're going to stand here and hold this thing or whatever. It had different layers to it. I liked it. Real shocked that we get down to Russell, Parvati, and Rupert for this last slide puzzle.
And then Russell wins.
Russell wins.
What? That was a bit of a shock.
Yeah. How does he do slide puzzles? That must have been luck. I don't know. But anyway, here we are. Russell has immunity.
Yeah. You think that there's like a bit of mathematics that goes into a slide puzzle. And we already know that Russell's not good at math. But maybe he's better at the more complicated math than like addition. But regardless, he has immunity now. And back at camp, Parvati's like, okay, it's it's Rupert's time to go. Like, let's just get Rupert out.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy.
Yeah, we don't think he has that idol. It's time to get Rupert out.
But Russell has other plans.
Oh, well, any other time he'd love to get Rupert out, except that Parvati and Danielle are they're a little too big for the britches. And he thinks that they might be conniving together more than with him. Yeah. So again, okay, this is dumb of you to do this, Russell. But if you're going to do it, there was better ways to do it. So he just proceeds to do this completely just messy, just hot messy.
He goes to Danielle first, right? And he's like, Parvati said she's going to come after you. So like, we got to get her. We got to get her out of here. And Danielle's like, okay, well, like maybe not tonight. Like, I think, Rupert still needs to go. But like, I guess at some point we got to take care of Parvati. Okay. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, because he kind of starts it like Parvati doesn't want to take you to final three. Like we have a final three, but she doesn't want you all the way. So it seems like he's easing into it. And so she's like, okay, I'm going to take that information. And like, okay, we might have to take her out earlier than we thought.
Yeah, bit surprised.
But then he proceeds to go to Parvati and kind of ramp it up from there. Danielle's coming for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, and she's like, why would she say that?
Yeah.
I mean, Parvati is too good for you, Russell. Like, you can't pull one over on her.
No.
So she's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Why would she say that? And he's like, well, I don't know, but like, you gotta watch out for her. Like, we gotta take care of her and we gotta do it tonight. And she's like, well, I'm going to talk to her. Let me talk to her. And he's like, dude, what are you? No, you can't talk to her. Are you crazy? And she's like, are you crazy? Like, of course I'm going to talk to her. Someone in my final three that I've had since the beginning is now saying that she wants me out of the game. I'm going to confront her about that. And he's like, but I'm trying to keep it a secret.
Yeah. I mean, he's got that like domineering effect though, where she's like, don't tell me who I can and can't talk to. Like, I'm obviously going to make my own decisions. I'm a grown adult here, sir.
Right.
But he also was like, but she's going to know it was me that says it. And she's like, okay, I can talk around it. You need to calm down, but he says to camera, like, I know they're not going to talk about it. She would go and do that.
Oh my God. Well, she does.
Yes, of course she does. Because you know what? They are closer than they are with you.
Yes. So they're comparing notes and immediately they're like, he said this. That's exactly what he said to me. Oh my God. Like Russell's trying to play us. Like it's so easy for them to like put these things together.
Right. Parvati is like, he's worried about our relationship. Like she gets it 100%. They understand him. They understand his moves and he has lost it. He's gone a little cuckoo. And so they have their eye on him, but it's just like, okay, we just need to make sure that everyone else, Jerry, like everyone still votes Rupert, no matter what crazy stuff Russell does.
Well, what I loved about this scene with Parvati and Danielle talking on the beach is that they're like this. And the microphone way in the background is Sandra. She's like lurking in the background, just like watching them talk. And then she's like the girl in the ring. And then she like scurries up next to them. And then all of a sudden they're all talking together. So like, okay, clearly Sandra is in with them. And Sandra hates Russell to begin with. So she's not going to go with any kind of Russell plan. So then they're like, okay, the three of us are good. Like, let's just make sure Jerry's not going to change her vote. Meanwhile, Russell's over there like, I got to get Danielle. It's this week. I got it because I need to own Parvati. If I get Danielle out, then Parvati's going to come running to me and I'll tell her how to vote. She'll vote how I tell her to. And he's
another
just like
reason
obsessed with owning her.
This is how you did this wrong. Russell, I'll sit you down and tell you how you could have done this better. But you think that sneaking around and getting Danielle out is going to bring Parvati closer to you means you don't have a read on Parvati or this game.
That's right. I know. So, but we do see him pitch Rupert and Colby and he's like, that we're going to get Danielle to change the plans. And of course they're like, okay, yeah, sure. And Russell's like, how this game can change. And Rupert is like, brother, I hear you. Great. Okay. Let's get Danielle out.
Yeah.
But this leaves time for like Parvati to go to Jerry.
Yeah, so Parvati and Danielle, I believe, together go to Jerry and they're kind of explaining. And Jerry's like, no, obviously Rupert. Like Rupert's got to go. He's the vote. I'm not changing my vote. It's Rupert. It's Rupert. And they're kind of expressing like Russell has lost his mind. Like he's coming up with crazy stuff. He's trying to go after Danielle like Rupert. And Jerry's like, got it. But then when Russell goes to Jerry, again, he doesn't make any sense.
No.
He's like, Danielle. Jerry's like, Rupert. And then he just like blows up to, then you're next. And she's like, don't threaten me.
Yeah. She's like, what are you talking about? Why are you threatening me? And he's like, I'm trying to help you. And he's just, he's doing too much. He's like being too aggressive, forcing this down people's throats, and that people just get an uneasy feeling when that happens, But he's also not giving enough information. Like he doesn't try to explain because he doesn't have the brain cells to do it. But like he can't come up with like an actual reason or information to help Jerry. And that's why she's like,
what are you talking about?
Because he hasn't thought it through enough. He just wants people to accept the first thing that comes out of his mouth. And then any questioning of that is like, well, then you're next.
Yeah. Which a fear tactic does work on some people, but.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. So we go to tribal.
Yeah. And Jeff's like, so how's it going? And Danielle's like, everything's great. All the villains agree that we're going to get the heroes out. Everything's fine. And he's like, really? And Jerry's like, no.
That's not how that worked today.
It was there was a lot going on at camp. Like, we're definitely not all in agreement. And Danielle's like, okay, well, there was one disagreement at camp. Like, Jeff, God, get off my back.
Parvati does completely call out Russell's move. She just calls it out. Russell did this, trying to pit me and Danielle against each other. She's just trying to out it. Yeah. And Russell just straight up lies and is like, Danielle said these things. And this leads Danielle to cry. She's revealing way too much information. She just starts losing it.
She does. And she, it eventually is like, why did Danielle and Parvati talk? Or something prompts Danielle to say, well, of course I was going to talk to Parvati. I'm closer to Parvati than you think I am, Russell. Boom.
Yeah, Russell totally. Yep. He baited her. She was falling for it. She was getting so emotional and saying too much. And it looked like Parvati wanted to turn around and just be like, stop it. Stop it. Shut it down, Danielle. No. Shut it down.
Yeah. But she rolled her eyes when she said that, like, oh my God, why did you say that? And then Russell turns right to Jerry and he's like, Danielle. It's got to be Danielle.
Got to be Danielle.
Because he got the information that he needed. And it's out there exposed for everyone. This is why Danielle is a threat, because Danielle and Parvati are ride or dies. We got it, so now he's looking at her like, see, I told you so. And so now it's this big question mark of what is Jerry going to do in this vote?
Well, apparently it worked, because Jerry was like, oh, okay, King Russell, I see what you're saying. Let's see. We see Parvati vote for Rupert, and we see Russell vote for Danielle.
Yes.
Then the votes that are red go Rupert.
Yep.
Danielle. Yeah.
So we know that Jerry flipped and Danielle is gone. And Rupert lives to survive another day. 2 votes in a row. Rupert got 3 votes and he's still there.
What? He was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
At that
now,
moment.
This is the first, I think, since the merge, is this the first villain that's been sent home?
Yeah, the first real villain.
JT
Candace was like a half.
Yeah, right. Because it was JT and then Amanda and then Candace. So it was 3 heroes in a row. And now, now's the time when it's we've gotten rid of enough heroes. We can start to chip away a little bit at the villains before we eventually take care of Colby and, Rupert finally. But
yeah. And if Russell really thinks that Danielle and Parvati were going to be a problem for him, I think it was a bit premature. And I think he wasn't thinking strategically. He was just thinking out of fear that he has lost control.
Yeah.
I mean, Parvati even turns around to Russell and says, that's messed up. It was messed up that he straight up lied about what she said in tribal. And Danielle's so hurt that she's been so loyal to Russell this whole time. And he screwed her over like that.
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
Russell is.
You think Parvati's going to be closer to you now?
Exactly. Yeah. He thinks that Parvati's going to come running to him and I don't think that's going to be the case. And we get in the preview next week that it's basically Russell on the outs with the villains. I love this moment of Russell saying you're either with me or against me. And Sandra's not even looking at him. And she says, I'm against you, Russell.
I'm against you. Don't even have to think about it. I'm against you.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been waiting 30 something days to say that. Or almost
so
30 days.
And then we see Russell make a final 3 with Rupert and Colby. I don't know what is going on next week, but I'm excited to see it.
Oh, I'm so excited to see it. But if Rupert and Colby believe that for 1 second,
get out of here.
I'm going to be like, so over it.
But I do think like they don't have other options.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Of course, you have to play along, and hopefully, to camera, Rupert's like, whatever, you disgusting human.
Right.
But we will see. You guys, we are almost to the end.
Yes, Sarah was telling me before we started rolling, we have only 2 episodes left.
Yes, that was episode 12. Next week, we will be back with episode 13. But then the week after that is the finale.
That's it. I can't believe this journey is almost over. My God.
It's almost over, but yet there's still so much goodness.
Oh, I can't wait.
Like, it doesn't end. It just doesn't end. So delicious.
So good.
Thank you guys for joining us live in the chat. Appreciate it. If you aren't here with us live, please leave us a comment. How all your feelings.
I'd love to hear from you.
We're here. We're doing it.
Yes.
We love it.
Yes.
What else do we have going on? You know everything.
Yeah.
You guys know.
You guys are a ride or die. So you're good. Yeah. So let us know what you think in the comments. And we will see you guys next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.